Hey, wine mermaids. This is the Peace, Love, and Wine podcast, bringing you happy hour conversations with awesome women on self-care, sisterhood, and creative living to reduce stress and maximize joy. Life is short, so grab a glass and get ready to sip, sparkle, and make a splash. Make sure to visit peaceloveandwine.com and enter your email to receive VIP deals and get your free self-care download. Now, here's your wine sister hostess with the mostest, Tiffany Humfeld.
Welcome to another episode of the Peace, Love, and Wine podcast, as I'm joined by Linda Jo. Woo! Yay! I'm back! She's back, everybody. I'm excited to have you, and we're doing our first live sort of on-location recording podcast here at Fair Trade Long Beach. So that's exciting. Thanks for joining me, being my first live show gal.
Yeah, thanks for having me on repeat.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Fair Trade today, since we are here at the shop. And, you know, I think Fair Trade has probably come a long way in the last decade. I know when I first started hearing about it, I was hearing also like a lot of controversy, in that companies were promoting fair trade, but they weren't necessarily
exploiting, right?
They were exploiting the workers and the small farmers and the artisans who are purported to be part of the program. So that's one thing that I'm like, how do they know? How do you know who you're serving and whether or not it's legitimate and all that?
Right. I think a lot of it is trying to go online and try to do your research and find out as much information as you can. But at the same time, it's the flip side where you're like, well, what do I trust online, right? So I think a lot of it is dialogue conversations with local business owners and people who want to really help.
Yeah. Part of it I think is everybody just trying to do the best they can and be aware of what they're purchasing,
right,
and try to make decisions around that. Of course, in some ways that can get really cost prohibitive, I think, for some people who are with grocery shopping, let's say.
Right. I mean, it is definitely a huge lifestyle change. But I think a lot of it is, again, my favorite word, mindfulness, being mindful and making more conscious decisions and, doing research and trying to help
supporting local people, wherever that is, right? I know that there are several organizations and umbrellas under which the store tries to operate. So they both are Fair Trade Federation certified, some of the different items in the store, as well as just, again, locally made. So their entire store isn't necessarily Fair Trade, but
majority of it is.
Yeah, and that's just part of what they're doing here, too, right? They're also supporting locals. So
yeah, I was browsing, and I'm like, wow, I love all the stuff here, and a lot of the items I've seen while I was traveling. So I already picked out a bunch of stuff that I want to purchase and support.
That's awesome. They have these really pretty necklaces that I love the beads are made from recycled magazines. And those come from Kenya, I believe. I don't remember the name of the gal's organization now, but I'm going to put that in the show notes for us. So I guess just going over, they have these cool little bookmarks in the store that say, what is fair trade? And I guess at its core, it's the belief that everyone should be fairly compensated for the work they do, right? So they have 10 guiding principles. Number 1 is create opportunities for economically disadvantaged producers, so that whether that's a farmer or an artisan, right? Number 5, this one's important, guard against child labor and forced labor, so no slaves, right?
Exactly.
And then number 10 is a good one, is respect the environment. So I think part of the fair trade is also trying to be eco-conscious.
Right. And I love that, and I love stores and businesses and people that try to enforce those policies, because we all should be paid equally and fairly for the work we do.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you said you recognize some of the items in the store as things that you've purchased when you've been traveling abroad. So where are some of the favorite places you've traveled where you've gotten some of these neat artisan items?
I saw this bag that was made of recycled newspapers, and I saw that in Peru when I hiked Machu Picchu and did the trek. And I just put it on my the items to purchase after we're done here, but a fan that's made with, I think it's like leather and some kind of fabric that they sewed into it. And it was so beautiful. And I actually saw that when I was traveling in, I think it was Zimbabwe. or Zambia, so Africa. There's some items and clothing that I saw in India. So it was great. I mean, I've pretty much traveled all around the world. And so my personal life motto is one new country a year. I travel solo. It's like my personal time. I make my whole itinerary and I send it out to my friends and say, if you want to join me on this trip, here's my itinerary. Book your ticket and just come, just show up. But I go to a new country every year. And part of that actually is when I go, I try to leave a small carbon footprint, because that's important to me. And again, like, we're not perfect, but, you try to be conscious and mindful. And I volunteer with local organizations when I get there. So whether it be homestay and trying to live locally and see how the local people, live on a day-to-day, but then also, doing my touristy things and seeing all the sites and stuff too. So, yeah.
That's super cool. Where are we going?
Where are we going this year? So actually this year on my list is Bali, Indonesia, and Singapore. I knew that I wanted to finish in Singapore. I'll be honest, a lot of it is because of Crazy Rich Asians. It's a cool movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's been on my list. Last year I did 3 weeks in Southeast Asia. And so I figured I'd go back and kind of trying to finish the rest. But I had like 5 separate friends who all were in Bali this year. And so a lot of it is, I don't know where I'm going to go. It depends on what do I want to eat? What do I want to experience? And I saw all these Bali pictures and I think it really motivated me. I thought motivate's not the right word. Inspired me, yes. Because I think this year a lot of it is I need to slow down a lot more. And so I think Bali would be a good place to be where I can't really be me.
You're forced to
exactly. I'll be sort of forced to slow down, but I'll be doing it in an exotic place.
You'll be doing your on location Fempreneur reboot.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know when I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be later in the year. I want to say November.
I'm like, I don't know that your calendar has any room left in December.
No, I have a lot of work travel coming up too. So I'm just trying to. And this, again, like my one country a year, that's separate from my work travel, which is, I do that a lot too. So one thing at a time, I'll get there.
That's awesome.
You're welcome to come. I'll send you my itinerary.
Thank you. You must have a lot of flight miles.
I do. I save them because I'm going to gift them to my parents to fly them business class or first class somewhere.
Oh, that's so nice.
I will live in discomfort and then pass it off because they've done so much for me.
Oh, that's really cool. So I just realized we haven't really recapped who you are for the people listening. We did recently release your first episode. Mm-hmm. So, and then because you are who you are, you have also already had a bunch of changes, and we recorded the last one 2 months ago, I think. So, tell us a little bit about what it means to be Linda Jo, the producer, day job, and passion project. Do it in 30 seconds.
Can we click on the link below and go to my previous podcast?
Yes, we'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah,
too.
Let's do that. What is it to be me? Well, I think a lot of it is I'm just passionate about the projects I take on. And I am a full-time producer, so that means I have a day job producing, and I'm within entertainment. And then I also have side projects that I do. So side projects entail from producing for Comic-Con or working with the NBA or here I go again, forgetting what is it that I do.
How about Accidental Joy, the musical?
Yes, Accidental Joy. That's one of my side projects, and actually my big passion project right now. And it is that we have a show coming up, a workshop production on Saturday, June 29th, in about a week or so. And we're really excited. We have only one show, so we are doing our absolute best to work hard just to put on a fantastic show for everybody.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm glad you're coming. In costume.
All right, so tell me what that's like. So, but you just, for the people listening, you just switched your day job. So in the midst of preparing for this one night only production, you also have been doing a full shift for the company that you worked for, and you had just finished doing a month-long travel for work, right? And then switch companies. Yeah, so again, when you have passion projects that essentially you're an entrepreneur.
And that's completely separate from having a full-time day job, because your day job is really structured. You know, you clock in, you do your work, you have your responsibilities, you go home. But your passion project, again, what I talked about in our first podcast interview was it's a newborn. Newborns can cry and poop, and they're hungry, and you change the diaper, and they cry again. And so this is what essentially my passion project is like. I live and die by my schedule, but again, all that has changed. I put something for 9 a.m., it changes to 10 a.m. Or have meetings scheduled, it gets shift. I mean, day jobs are like that too, but with your passion project, you also have to, the reason why it's so important you try to stick with your schedule is because I have a day job, I can't just leave, right? I can only do stuff during lunchtime or before work or after work. So I just finished with my previous company producing for a couple weeks. It was like 2 weeks long pro cycling tour. It's the biggest one in North America. So just finished that, and then I had a couple weeks to wrap up and jumped right into a new full-time producing job, which is now I have bigger responsibilities producing on a global level, international level. And so this is all happening while my show is going to happen within 2 weeks. And so I have one project closing up, new project starting, and then now my passion project. And so, trying to juggle everything, it's just a life of, I keep saying it's a life of a producer, but you have to really want to do it. You have to stay excited. You have to stay motivated. And really all that just comes from inside, from me. I will say that I listened to the show, and it was so hard for me at first because I'm like, I don't want to hear myself. I don't remember what I said. But I was really surprised because I said, wow, Linda, I hear your passion. Good for you. So
isn't that awesome? You realize, there's some wisdom there. I should listen to myself.
Well, I think I was feeling a little down, or I think I was feeling a little burnt out from the day, and I listened to it, and I actually motivated myself. I think my friends who heard it said that I was very, it's just you, Linda. You're excited, and I think that's what passion is. That's what passion comes from. So when you're exhausted and you're tired, you go back to that.
That's a good point. Good reminder. Yeah. And take a nap.
I don't take naps. Otherwise, I'd be sleeping.
Well, you kind of
I'll try.
Take your evening nap, sort of, right?
So the new place that I'm producing for my full-time producing job, my day job. So they're gonna have nap pods come in in the next couple months. So we'll see how that works out.
Nice. Yeah. Do they need a massage therapist in house?
I think they do, but I'm sure they're open. Send referrals.
I am a massage therapist.
Yeah, we'll talk after the show.
Maybe I can come in we could do like...
How come you didn't tell me this before? I need massages.
Oh, well, I'm a massage therapist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not practicing, but I think it informs a lot of what I do and where I try to come from, a place of calm, which is not always easy. My body is has knots everywhere, so you can practice with my shoulders first. You'll have to get in line behind the millions of others who have made this offer because there is a very long line. Maybe I can give you a little VIP treatment, though. Okay, let's look at. We're in the store here, and we're surrounded by some of the beautiful items upstairs here at Fairtrade Long Beach, and they've got some really pretty skirts that I want to go hold up next to me. They're all the different colors. Did you see where those are? Where they come from? Did you happen to see? No, but I think a lot of these tunics I've seen while I was traveling in Egypt, same in India, same in... Some of it looks Thai to me. Yeah, like Asian, inspired with elephants. Nice. Where's your favorite place that you've traveled? Oh, it's a really difficult question, actually. I think different, like when I was at the border of Brazil and Argentina, there is this one of the seven new wonders or wonders of the world. It's called Iguazu Falls. It's like 1.8 mile stretch of all waterfalls, and it's so beautiful. Every single place you turn, photo op is a rainbow. And so that was probably one of my like water sort of moments that I really loved. But I think I've been to the continent of Africa 4 times, and there's just something beautiful and special about being in Africa. Like when I was in South Africa and when I was in
Tanzania and Botswana and kind of went through 8 countries, backpacking. And I wanted to go because I wanted to see the animals in the wild, in their natural habitat, and see the people. And there's just something magical. I felt like I was home. I mean, at one point we all started, right? There and then Big Bang and all that. But it just really felt like I felt really connected to Earth.
Like primal.
Yeah, and it's something that I've never felt before. So I think when I was there, it's also so vast. And just being there, I just felt like, wow, I'm home. So I think because of that, it was really special in a different kind of way. Most recently, I went to New Zealand 2 years ago. And New Zealand was, oh my gosh, it felt like Los Angeles, but newer, cleaner, just fresh. Like if you went out there and you could really start a business, and there's a lot of opportunity.
Interesting.
And so I think different places for different reasons and special for their own reasons.
Do you know Flight of the Conchords?
No.
Band?
Oh, yeah.
From New Zealand? Okay.
Yeah.
I find them very hilarious and enjoy listening to them. Maybe we'll get them on the podcast one day.
Hey, you never know.
Jermaine, hit me up.
You got to manifest it. It'll happen.
Speaking of manifesting, let's talk about Accidental Joy a little bit more. Let's talk about the songs that we'll get to hear on this episode. So we were talking about Painted Lady. Tell me about that one.
So briefly, Painted Lady is the story of Neve Lapel. She's the spiritual guru, and how she became this sort of spiritual guru. How her humble beginnings to becoming who she is now. And it's sort of your jazzy, sexy, Chicago rendition. So the Chicago, the musical. So yeah, that's the song that you will probably play right now.
All she had to do was call.
You were a big old groupie, huh?
Fill her up, but always bring her down. She was you.
By the looks of things, oh yeah.
Like a ripped pair of stockings on the avenue of beauty.
Is that you? That's you. Neat. You were a
lady. Ah, ooh, yes. Painted lady.
I love that song. And then we're going to talk about Revelation.
So Revelation is, there's a guy in the character in the show called Chris Eagle. Eagle is in quotations. That's his sort of pseudo, alter ego. And this is his sort of his come up song. This is his solo. It's a little rocker, sort of inspired.
There's a little bit of a fight in the show for who's going to become the next guru, right? And
right.
He's like putting his...
Right. This is his song to kind of win his, I guess, what is it, claim.
Revelation is washing over you like gently falling rain. Revelation is coming from my heart to break this endless chain. But you gotta believe I'm going to leave. So long to leave. The air is so clean, the land lush and lean. With me, you see. But what about Neve? Fuck Neve.
It's a fun song too. And then we have More Than Physical. Talk about that.
More Than Physical is, without giving a lot of it away, is when the title character Joy, and then there's a character named Lance, who's like this ex-football player, and they knew each other in high school, the two, and they meet at this spiritual retreat. And so this is their moment when they see each other, and they're talking about what it is that they're looking for in love.
Nothing short of magical connections, like poetry written in the sky.
Written in the sky.
Hey!
To finally be that perfect answer.
That perfect answer.
The one that you've been asking for, a never-ending love.
Yeah! That is my kind of love.
It's a good one.
With some surprises.
A lot of surprises.
Well, what have you been doing over the past couple weeks to keep yourself sane and grounded with all of this going on? You're like just pushing through it. It's been a push through a week.
It has been. I think, I haven't really. It's because within events and in my job as a producer, during these times, it's extremely difficult, especially because it's crunch time. We're getting ready for a huge, like, quote unquote event. Our show is an event, essentially. And so I have not been very mindful. But, for example, yesterday was the Hollywood Bowl's opening night. So, and I have my season ticket. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to look at emails the rest of the day today. So I shut off around 3 o'clock. Didn't look at my emails, which felt really nice.
Which was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday, and I'm always on emails. I'm always working. So I said, okay, I'm going to just not be on emails today. I will stress about it Sunday morning. So today is Sunday, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, I was stressing out. But at least it was like a good 6 hours of quiet time. So I can enjoy for myself and really just kind of be in the moment. I haven't really been in the moment in the last couple weeks, and that's just being honest. And I know that once the show is done, and then we're gonna go straight into 4th of July, so it'll be nice. I'll be traveling for work, but I'll have a couple days to kind of unwind. So it's just, I think for me, knowing how my schedule is, it's anticipating and knowing when to schedule and when to have downtime. Because before I would go, okay, I have to work, and then go straight into work, and then it'll just be continuous 24/7, 365 days a year. But now it's knowing that, okay, when this is done, I'll have a pocket of time. So I'm going to enjoy my 2 days or 3 days or whatever it is.
Yeah. And have you been getting your meditations in? Because I know...
I do. I get 10 minutes every morning. That's just like, that's like clockwork. So the good thing about that is it's been 2010, so 9 years. And maybe within 9 years, I haven't meditated for 10 minutes. I want to say maybe 3-4 months or something. Very small.
So you've been pretty consistent.
Yeah, and the consistency helps because now it's become a habit. So...
Because you didn't even mention that, right, when I brought it up about sort of slowing down? Because it's so ingrained as part of your routine.
Right, it's like, did you brush your teeth today? Of course. Right, it's part of my daily, which is great because in the beginning it felt like work. And I always say that, another thing to add to my checklist. But now it's become so ingrained, I don't even talk about it. So yes, I am meditating every day for 10 minutes. And then I also stretch every day for 10-15 minutes. And because I have back injuries and stuff from whatever. So those are things that I do on the daily, which helps.
What does that process look like? Do you usually do it at the same time of day?
When I wake up, I do 10 minutes. But the stretching, if I can't do a full 10-15, I do that throughout the day. So it'd be squats or, leaning against the wall and kind of trying to roll out or whatever the case. Yeah, I can see a huge difference in my day-to-day in terms of how I can function physically. Because my back injuries stem from a car accident. So, it's like just being, again, you know yourself best.
Listening to your body.
Right.
When you are meditating, do you have a certain way that you do that? Do you listen to guided meditations or do you just do it?
Nope, I just
sitting
do it.
Still.
Sit still, close my eyes and just find sort of this... it's kind of like in that movie Get Out where you, quote unquote, are sunk in place and you kind of... It's almost like you, not in a bad way, but I can see myself meditating. It's like having, I don't know how to describe that.
But it's almost like you're watching yourself.
Yeah. And at first it was really scary because I felt like I couldn't control that. But then you learn to really appreciate, because you're like, why is she so calm right now? Why is she so still? And it's appreciating that stillness. Someone like me who's always on the go, being still doesn't come naturally to me. So in the beginning, that was I was like, whoa.
10 minutes seemed like 10 hours.
10, exactly. And I really I was counting down the hours, like watching a boiling pot, right? It's been 30 seconds. It feels like infinity. But now that 10 minutes goes by so quickly, I've tried to extend it, but I think then for me, it's too much right now. So 10 minutes for me is good. It's doable. And I don't want to force that upon me because I'm not ready to go further.
That's good. Do you ever anchor to a word or a certain feeling that you're trying to access?
Nope, just completely quiet, clear my mind. A lot of it is, I think there's so much going on, and when you're like, in my mind, there's a constant checklist. So I don't want it to become where I'm going to a place of negativity, where in your voice that whatever that is so loud. Oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you have to do
your
this.
Inner critic is loud.
Exactly, my inner critic is very loud. So when I'm still and quiet and meditating, I try to just, again, mindfulness, just being present and not thinking about anything, and just knowing that it's going to be okay, you're going to get through this, you can do it. More positivity.
And then when you recognize those thoughts coming in, that inner critic starting to pounce around the room and stomp around, what do you do then?
I mean, it's funny because it's like the external me is like badass. I'm, strong woman. I'm vocal, but then that inner voice, wherever it's coming from, oh, you need to not be so vocal. You need to not be so strong. But my external always overempowers the internal, which is great.
It's really great for
it's really great. But it's like human nature. When you're tired, or when I'm at a 0 right now, or my capacity is low, then your inner voice can really take over when you're stressed out. So for me, it's trying to find balance where trying to match your inner critic with your external, right? I think we all have those inner voices when we're tired. Then you're looking to somebody else for answers. And when that person doesn't, or person or persons or something doesn't give you answers, you feel conflicted. So again, I'm going to use that M word again. Mindfulness. I actually didn't realize how much that word meant to me until I listened back to the last show. I'm like, wow, I'm learning a lot about myself.
Isn't that awesome?
It is very awesome.
Yeah. So when I'm thinking of how you meditate, you personally, what I'm seeing in my head is that you're sitting down and you're like, okay, this is Linda's quiet time. And then you're closing your eyes and you're actually picturing yourself sitting still in like a soft or dark place. And you're just watching yourself, and you're like, that's the easiest way for me to get centered, is just like...
I was like, you're very close. I usually just do it because I don't sleep a lot in general. So when I wake up, I'm just laying in bed, and I'm meditating that way.
So before all the
before I get out
and checklists get to come in.
Exactly. Before I stare at my phone. Sometimes I stare at my phone during the middle of the night as I sleep. 30 minutes in, I wake up, look at my phone, respond to an email. You know what? Sometimes I don't even know that I'm doing it.
Wow.
And my phone is on silent. So I guess I'm feeling something because I look at it and go, wow, the person just emailed me like 2 minutes ago.
You got the vibe.
I did. It's weird because I do need to shut off in that way, but I'll respond, go back to sleep. So when I wake up and I know that before I get out of bed to really start my day, then I'm laying there, and a lot of people wake up and they kind of lounge in bed. I meditate that way for 10 minutes. And then and it's funny because you said you envision me sitting. Well, I can see myself sitting in a meadow or in a mountain somewhere, and that's how I see myself. But in reality, I'm just laying there. But I think meditation comes in many different ways and forms, right? A lot of people like to go somewhere because that's where they can they feel, at peace or whatever they can do. And for me, that's comfortable for me.
Well, and that's the beauty of meditation. Is
right. You could do it anywhere.
You could do it anywhere, and then in your mind, you can be anywhere too.
Right?
Yeah. I've been toying with changing my location physically just within my own space. So sometimes I'll sit up in bed and I'll just try to do it as sort of a morning gratitude and like centering exercise in bed. And then sometimes I actually want to get up and go to my little Zen den in the corner of the room with my little floor chair and my salt lamp and candles, and sometimes I do it that way.
But meditation is very important. It doesn't have to be meditation. A lot of people do yoga, right? And any form of like mental exercise. And so it helps me start the day fresh, strong, the way I need to be strong. And it gets me centered. Like I need to be okay, because I need to be not just a leader for myself, but for other people. and it gets my day going. Now, throughout the day, I can't control all the stuff that happens throughout the day, but it makes me, okay, it's okay. I'm gonna get through this.
It's like you can anchor back to that morning meditation you did.
Mm-hmm. And if not, I'm gonna go, okay, I'll meditate on this tomorrow.
I like it. So do you have a name for your inner critic? I have one for mine.
What is yours?
Captain Asshole.
That's a good one. I don't have a name. That's actually good. I'm gonna put that on my list. I go, shut up. No, it's a lot of it is I don't realize that that's coming out until somebody says like, why are you so hard on yourself right now? Why are you being so negative? I'm like, I'm not being negative. I'm just being very real. I'm a realist. So I think that's when I realized, oh wow, I didn't realize where is this coming from.
I was being mean to myself.
Well, it was like I was saying when I was listening to the first podcast, I didn't realize, wow, Linda, I really hear the passion and excitement in your voice. I'm really proud of you. I don't think I said that out loud ever. It's been so long. But I am hard on myself. We are our own worst critics. And for me, it's always like, I have so much that I need to still do and accomplish. I don't feel like what I've done up to this point has been accomplishment because there's so much left to do. But again, it's putting into perspective going, I think I'm doing okay.
You have to celebrate where you are because there's no guarantee you're going to get there, right?
That's true. And so what I was more excited about was when I heard how excited about that I was, or I am, for Accidental Joy, because it's my big passion project right now. And, I was really proud of myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to really get there. I know it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to hear. It was like you reminded yourself about how...
Yes, it's the reminder that I was looking for. And the most important thing, though, is to have fun, which I also forget to do.
Right.
A lot of it is always like, okay, I got to get through this, and I got to get through it well. And then it's done, and I go, I
forgot to have fun.
I always say I
I
never enjoy any of the events that I put on or do, because if what brings me excitement at the end is if you as an audience member, you as a guest enjoy it, because that means I did my job. But I guess I can also allow myself to have a little fun, but I don't think I've ever actually really enjoyed the process. I mean, I enjoy the process, but like had fun during the process.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Right?
And I challenge you to just try to have a little bit of fun at the next event.
I'm like, oh my gosh, if I have fun, then is it all going to get done? I don't know. I don't know that answer. Tune in.
I'm giving Linda Joy the fun challenge. Will you take it, Linda?
I will take it. I will try to have fun the next couple weeks. I don't know. I guess I am having fun in my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, again, it's being mindful and remembering that, okay, all this stuff needs to get done, and it's okay if I stop and laugh for a minute, right?
Yeah, I don't think I've laughed in so long.
Oh.
I'm laughing right now.
And we don't even have bubbly today. We're drinking coffee.
I know, this
today.
is normal. This is just, heart to heart. We have coffee and donuts.
We do have coffee and donuts. Yeah. We didn't cheers, by the way. Let's cheers.
Ding.
Cheers. My coffee cup says I'd rather be drinking wine.
It's a good one.
All right. Well, I think we got some good ground covered for today. Anything you'd like to share with people who want to learn more about the show?
Yes, go to our website, www.accidentaljoymusical.com. And there you will see on the upper right-hand corner a tickets button that you can click. And hopefully we will see you at our show on Saturday, June 29th at 8 p.m. at the Montalban Theater in Hollywood.
Yes, and...
So this is a workshop production, and we are having only one show. We would love to have more shows, but we are not fully budgeted yet. So if you can please make it, spend a Saturday night. There are restaurants and bars and tons of stuff to do in the area. You're right around the corner from Pantages Theater. So
the Hollywood and Vine area,
yep,
right?
Cross streets are Hollywood and Vine. It's going to be fun, fabulous. We have drag queens and aliens, and it's dark comedy. It's going to be a fun night. Just come and let us do the rest to entertain you.
And I'm, Tiffany, actually going to be hosting a meetup before the event, too. So if you want to go to one of those fun places in town, we're going to a 70s bar ahead of time.
Ooh.
I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
In costume?
Yes, costume highly encouraged.
Yes.
Yes, so if you're going to come see the show, if you could wear anything that resembles hippiness,
enlightenment, spiritual garb, sort of your bohemian chic,
yes,
so to say.
So we'll put all that information in the notes for everybody to check out. And they can get a little bit of a discount on their ticket through the promo code.
Yep, JOY5, JOY number 5. And you get $5 off your ticket.
Awesome.
And they're super affordable. They range from like $25 to $45.
Yes, for a live show, that's a great deal.
And I'm telling you, you got to see it before we get to Broadway, and it's going to be like your next Hamilton.
Yep.
I know that's a lot of pressure, but I will take on that pressure.
And have fun doing it.
I will also. Stay tuned.
All right, everybody. Hope to see you there.
Bye. Thank you for listening.
This is a public service announcement from Peace, Love, and Wine. Hey, mermaid, are you feeling calm AF? If not, I have a solution for you, and it's free. Go to peaceloveandwine.com and grab your free self-care download by entering your name into the pop-up, or just go to the show notes and grab your Calm AF link there into your email, and we'll get you on your way to feeling good. Oh, yeah.